injury. So the celebration tempered by the loss of Durant. They win the game. They force a Game 6 at Oracle Thursday. That will be the last game ever played at Oracle Arena by the Golden State Warriors. Afterwards, Coach Kerr on line 5.
This is who they are. You know, they've accomplished so much over the years, and that doesn't just happen. And it doesn't just happen with talent. There has to be more that goes into it, and it's that fight, that competitive desire that I talked about, and that ability to stay poised under pressure.
I mean, we've made a lot of different statements over the course of these 5 years, and you know, win or lose, I don't feel like we need to prove anything anymore. It's just about, can we get the job done or not? And obviously, like I said, tonight was an emotional roller coaster from start to finish, and we have another game to play on Thursday, so we'll be ready for it. But there's no more statements need to be made about who we are as a team and our heart and our competitiveness and whatnot. We want to win this championship. We're going to give everything we got, but I think we're done with, proving people wrong or making bold statements with our play. People know who we are.
Let's go by the numbers. It's crazy Game 5. When Kevin Durant went out in the second quarter after injuring that lower right leg, the Warriors had a 5-point lead. They were outscored by 4 points the rest of the game. But if you do the math, it was enough to get the win. Warriors now move to 6-1 when facing elimination under Steve Kerr, tied for the best record by any head coach in NBA history. Former Nuggets head coach Dan Issel also went 6-1 in his career. And Curry and Thompson combined to make 12 of the Warriors' 23s. Golden State, 12 more threes than the Raptors, moving to 14-0 in the playoffs when making 10 or more threes than their opponent under Kerr. And they send the series and the Raptors back to Oakland.
They play fast early on, trying to get buckets in transition early. And obviously they made 23s tonight. Clay and Steph hit some big ones late in the game.
We got the heart of a champion. We're built for this moment. We played up to the task, and after that first quarter, and we gave ourselves a chance to win. So sometimes it goes your way, and sometimes it doesn't. Obviously, when all the chips are on the table and the stakes are this high, it feels different when you lose like that. But at the end of the day, it's a 7-game series, and we dropped one tonight. We gotta go get one on Thursday.
I'm not sitting here trying to think we should be this, be that, but if you'd probably told me at the start of this thing if we could fast forward to a 3-2 lead, you want to take it, I'd probably say yes.
But if you look at that scoreboard in the last 3 minutes, you might want to rethink that. The Raptors had a 6-point lead in the last 3 minutes. Entering Monday, they were 65-0 with a 6-point lead that late in the game. That was the best record in the NBA by a mile. Let's welcome in Micah Welbon now from Toronto. Micah, that last possession, the Raptors didn't get a shot for Kawhi Leonard, but there's a reason for that. What happened?
An audible, Stan. As simple as that. It could be like a football audible with a quarterback, and the quarterback in the case of Golden State was Draymond Green. They had just decided, he personally decided, and Livingston and Iguodala were in agreement. This guy is beating us. He can win this game, make somebody else win it for Toronto if they're going to win it. And they know with 100% certainty that Kawhi Leonard is not a force-it kind of player, that he was probably going to give up the ball there. He's not going to go through a double team. That's not Kawhi Leonard's style of play. What did he do? And particularly that late in the game, he gives up the ball, and at least they're willing to take their chances with Van Vliet or with Kyle Lowry. They don't want to take their chances with Kawhi Leonard, who has scored 10 points in under 2 minutes to give them the lead. And so that defensive audible with Green calling it and Iguodala executing it, that could have saved the game as much as anything else for the Golden State Warriors.
And if there weren't enough drama on the court, then there was the post-game news conference from Warriors executive Bob Myers talking about Kevin Durant. We'll listen to that and then get your thoughts on it.
Kevin had it's an Achilles injury. I don't know the extent of it. He'll have an MRI tomorrow. He was cleared to play tonight. That was a collaborative decision. I don't believe there's anybody to blame, but I understand this world, and if you have to, you can blame me. I run our basketball operations department. Kevin Durant loves to play basketball, and the people that questioned whether he wanted to get back to this team were wrong. And I'm not here to... He's one of the most misunderstood people. He's a good teammate. He's a good person. It's not fair.
So, Mike, you've been around sports a whole lot longer than I have. Have you ever seen anything like that?
No, not in the heat of something like a finals or a World Series or a Stanley Cup final. No, we talk to Bob Myers all the time, the president of basketball operations for the Warriors. And this hurt him as he sat there saying, no, if anybody's got to take some blame and nobody should be blamed, put it on me. And it was, as heartfelt, it was awkward. It was difficult to listen to, again, particularly for those of us who have known Bob for years. And what they're going through right now, the players, one Warrior I talked to said, this is so bittersweet. How about that? You ever hear anybody talk about a finals series victory as being bittersweet? Also, I'm told the trainers and the people who are around him, the equipment guys, between coming to tears and sobbing after the game because they all felt so badly for Kevin Durant, who they knew, they were around him, they were helping him, put so much time into coming back and trying to do what he did. Also, keep this in mind, 11 points in 12 minutes for Durant tonight.
Yeah. And
another Warriors player told me, he said, we needed every one of those points. We won by one.
Absolutely.
Every single thing that Kevin Durant produced, we had to have.
Yep, and they got it, so now they have to regroup, try to get it done at home while the Warriors try to figure out what's going on with Durant and how it could affect his future. So a lot going on there, Mike. We appreciate your input.
Thanks, Stan.
Our coverage of Game 5 would not be complete without hearing from Stephen A. Smith. He's coming up in just a little bit on SportsCenter. We got Tim Legler breaking down that last possession for the Raptors. Rachel Nichols spoke with Steph Curry. She'll tell us how the emotion over Durant's injury got to him, too. And Nick Friedel on the Warriors going from cousins and more on the fans.
Trash. So trash. But like I said, we only idolize is superstar athletes, not human beings. It's always about what we can do between those lines. That's it. That's all that ever matters.
The Raptors players were telling the crowd to be quiet out of respect, which I appreciated, because some of the fans were cheering when it happened, and I think the Raptors players understood, how serious it was. And
I don't think the fans knew the significance of the injury. They kind of just seen it went down, and in this league, we're all brothers. At the end of the day, we're all brothers, and it's a small brotherhood, and you never want to see a competitor like him go down.
Here's another look at the injury. Now, it was described as a calf injury coming into this, but now the Warriors are saying it's an Achilles injury. Drake upset courtside. Listen in. Andre Iguodala and Steph Curry accompanied Durant into the tunnel and off the floor. And Durant, seen later leaving the arena on crutches with a boot on the right foot. Kawhi Leonard and other players on Durant's injury.
We work so hard to either play in the finals or just play in the NBA. And, when you're not playing, it's hard to wrap your mental around it. But I'm pretty sure he's going to attack each day and, get better and then come back strong.
I love KD, love watching him play, and when anybody goes down, you're saddened by it. But when one of the great players like that goes down, it's almost shocking.
If anyone watched the last 3 years of basketball, you saw this man was the Finals MVP back-to-back. So all those talking heads who say we're better without him, that's just ludicrous. That's crazy. This is the best player in the world. You could put him on the 30th best team in the league, and that team will make the playoffs. That's how talented he is. So we don't even pay any of that no mind, because with him, we are really I believe, one of the greatest teams to ever play. Without him, we're a really good team, but you throw Kevin Durant out there, like I said before, one of the greatest ever. So we don't pay that any attention because that's just stupid.
If you follow the NBA closely, you know what 50, 40, 90 means. And Durant was at the top of his game. For the playoffs, he averaged more than 30 points on 50% shooting from the floor, 40% from three, and 90% from the line. He became the first player in NBA history to average 30 points on 50, 40, 90 shooting in one postseason.
Go up to Toronto. Nick Friedel there. Nick, take us backstage. You got a team win. You got an individual loss.
Neil, it's the second saddest post-game locker room I've ever seen in covering the league. The only thing that comes close is when Derrick Rose tore his ACL in Chicago. You had Bob Myers, the Warriors GM, in tears up at the podium. You had Steph Curry walking back to the locker room, getting applause and an ovation from his teammates as he made his way back in. DeMarcus Cousins is cursing expletives on his way off the floor. Klay Thompson is telling everybody, we have to win this for Kevin. It was the highs and lows, unlike hardly anything else I've ever seen. Then on top of that, Warriors team president Rick Welts is smiling on his way out of the arena, and he looks up and he goes, enjoy your flight and the next one. So there is a lot of confidence still, despite all the sadness that the Warriors are experiencing.
How tight of a group are these Warriors?
They're extremely tight. And, Neil, this gets lost a lot because there is so much different stuff and emotions that surrounds Kevin Durant in his decision. And there's going to be plenty of time for that over the next couple weeks. But this team has been through so many highs and lows, and they believe in each other in the moment on the floor. And that is what is crucial when you talk about this group. That's why they've had the success that they've had. When push comes to shove and all the money's on the table, they have a way of coming together. And they knew they needed Kevin in order to win. That's why they were telling him all along, if he comes out there, they can find a way. And that's why this group is heartbroken right now, because they knew that if he was there, they could do it. And now all they want is to win 2 more games and find a way to bring that third trophy back to him and let him be a part of it.
Nick, how do you balance the heartbreak of Durant with the confidence you need to have to win 2 more games?
The confidence, Neil, is still off the charts. And it's because they have been through all these different experiences in the last 3 years with Kevin and the last 5 years going to all these finals. As Draymond was walking out, he kept telling everybody, this is what we got to do. I mean, these guys all come together when it matters the most. And Neil, that's how this team has gotten to where they are. So the confidence hasn't shaken within the group. It's stronger than ever now because they know they're playing for a higher purpose. And the purpose is to show everybody that they can do it and to show Durant that they can do it for him.
Nick Friedel, well put.